basically, Jesus spoke with the Sermon on the Mount in Matthew chapter 5, 6, and 7. Luke includes some Beatitudes as well. There we read he was on a flat place on the plain. Some people try to say, well, maybe it was a mountain with a flat top on it. I don't think we need to say that. I think that these are the kinds of things he says to a lot of people. And that both Luke and Matthew compiled Jesus' teachings and put them together into one sermon, each one of them remembering it slightly differently or putting together different pieces of longer sermons into one. I think that's fine. Hang on. The church always closes for a couple of hours at noon. We've got actually only 35 minutes, which is enough to go in. I don't know if we'll have a place we can gather up to read the Beatitudes or not. We'll have to go in and see. Don't take time for bathroom now, but on the way out. Otherwise, we'll kind of lose some of our time. And we'll go in, we'll give you some reflection time, and then back on the bus. A politician on campaign stops, every town gets kind of the same speech, right? This is a very powerful speech. I think many of the villages and towns hear these statements. I think these statements are what makes Jesus' ministry and message radically more powerful than what the scribes and Pharisees are saying. He's fulfilling Torah expectations, but going beyond them at the same time. It's practical language that's really almost impossible to do. Yeah? As we figure out what it means to follow him. Jesus sees the crowds, he goes up on the mountain, he sits down, his disciples come to him, he opens his mouth, he begins to teach. Blessed are the poor in spirit. Theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Maybe I should do this. As I read these, imagine, would Herod say this? Mm-hmm. Is this what the centurions are taught to sort of bring to this land? Is this what the temple authorities are going to be saying? It's so countercultural, but yet so practical and meaningful. Blessed are those who mourn. They shall be comforted. Blessed are the gentle. They shall inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst, but for righteousness they shall be satisfied. Blessed are the merciful. They will receive mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart. They shall see God. Blessed are the peacemakers. They shall be called sons of God. Blessed are those who have been persecuted for the sake of righteousness. Theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when... Let me read that again. Blessed are those who have been persecuted for the sake of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. He's not saying blessed are you when you're persecuted for the sake of righteousness. If we're going to err on anything, it should be behaving in such a way that honors God and other people. Yeah? Blessed are you when people insult you and persecute you and say evil things falsely because of me. Rejoice and be glad. Your reward in heaven is great. You are the salt of the earth. You are the light of the world. A city on a hill cannot be hidden. You don't put a lamp under a basket. It shows its light to all. When Jesus is on the northern shore and looks out over the lake is pretty busy. There's only one city up on a hill, and that's the Decapolis, the Greco-Roman city above Engez, that represents Rome's might and power. Their light is shining high on a hill. Jesus is saying, why don't you do the same thing? You can't hide that light. Why don't you have yours shine as bright as theirs is?
Yeah.
I haven't come to abolish, but to fulfill. Take a few minutes, guys. Some of you have text with you. Others of you recall elements of the Sermon on the Mount that are particularly important and meaningful for you. You're allowed to wander a bit. Find a quiet place. You've got about 20 minutes.
Can we make it 30?
Well, they're going to close the doors on us in exactly 30. We have to be gone over.
Out of the ground?
Out of the ground. Out of the ground. Out of the ground. So about 20 minutes.